Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 1, Episode 1, True Crime. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sponsoring this show. It's been on my radar for a while, but I hadn't got around to watching it, and so I'm just really excited to react to it. I've heard only good things about it. That being said, I think it's like a sort of light-hearted drama. I don't actually know too much about it. I've just heard a lot of good things. A reminder that if you are watching this reaction on YouTube, you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions to this show on my Patreon unedited, and let's go.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm not leaving her here. Oh, I would.
Oh my god.
Of course I would.
What the fuck?
It's not what you think.
What the fuck? 2 months earlier, I was gonna say.
At the Arconia.
The building where there will be murders.
Wait, are you...
This sends the investigation into a whole new direction.
That's it, man. That's it. Oh, shit. So cool.
I love the glasses coming off too.
I have this recurring dream. I'm in bed, I wake up, and there's a man standing over me. So I kick him right in the nuts and I grab my knitting needle. And I take him down to the bone with that thing.
I'm mildly concerned about her.
And I'm out like a light.
All starting to feel the same? That's when you get hit by something you never saw coming.
Oh, a murder. 1, 2.
Sorry.
Polite.
I just... Oh, hello. Me neither.
Angelina? Interesting. We have our
Is it
cast.
5 o'clock yet?
Does that guy get murdered?
Even the elevator wanted that story to end.
They're gonna be fast friends. Living in the glory of his past.
Royal Crown Cruises, the Royal Crown Prince of Dubai.
Are they all listening to the same thing?
I wasn't expecting to find anything related to the disappearance of his niece, Becky. I was thinking more
True
about
crime
unorthodox
fanatics,
clothing
or at least
for foreign
fans.
living.
I think it can be done respectfully. Is this because of a murder? Or did someone pull the fire alarm because they were going to commit the murder? Oh ho ho.
Well, look who got the last booth. Oh, you're not Scott Bakula? Oh, my favorite podcast just dropped a new episode tonight. And
What does Bo have in his mouth? I don't know.
Fast friends.
sit down. Half the building's in here. I'm Oliver, by the way. Oliver Putnam.
Charles Hayden Savage.
Hey, I'm Mabel.
No, really, what is... Oh, great, old school name.
Get out. What the fuck is in Bo's mouth?
Becky's panties.
It is not already too obvious.
Exactly.
Even the most unlikely people can have something in common.
Found someone dead.
What?
Sounds like they offed themselves.
You're kidding me.
9th floor. Can't let anyone in.
We can't go to our apartments?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Freight elevator, just to take a peek.
Just to see what's happening.
People getting in the way of
But we
an
should
investigation.
Why?
They'll have cops posted online.
Ooh, you're good.
Is she secretly a serial killer? She was last. Is that why the flash forward bit was like, it's not what it looks like, she did it. They could suspect you now. Which, if Mabel did it, would make sense. You just saw your very real body.
Oh my god.
We saw him, what, like an hour ago? Did he seem like he was gonna go do something like that?
Looky loos.
With the deceased.
I mean, even in passing, he didn't seem the type.
So you don't know him.
We saw him an hour ago.
Your investigation, look...
Residue powder on the hands, evidence of financial stress. We even found a note on his laptop saying he's out of here, which is exactly where you all need to be.
I suppose if he... It's probably going to be a murder because of the show. But I guess what they overheard, he was stressed about something.
No.
Oh, he was carrying a trash bag. The true crime sparks are flying.
The motherfucking garbage bag.
Why would he get on the elevator with that? There's a chute on every floor.
We all have the same thought?
The garbage bag.
Ah, different thought. We should do a whole podcast.
I'm that there's a killer on the loose if we're right. Then he could be living somewhere in our building.
Oh, that is a very good line. And with, you know, like a human.
If
That's
there's anyone left to care, there is nothing for me anymore.
sounds suicide-y. It should be a good thing that there's not a murderer in your building. Though you saw someone going up the stairs, didn't you?
I'm not always in here.
Coming up to get you. A direct route into Bunny's. We just need to take off the grate.
No, no, no. Have you forgotten? I'm Brazos.
You're good. You're a good actor.
Well, I'm gonna need to,
Need to borrow money.
you know, I really did not want this to close on a few things.
Yeah, that's what you said last time.
Always the
How
way.
long have you lived here?
When they said I was like him, but
Wanting to be your own person.
he was awful to my mother. Awful. Tried to make her feel
Cool.
small. He seemed to get pleasure out of
She
it.
clearly has a countenance you trust, because he's unburdening.
Making
I have to sell the apartment.
I can't do that.
Dad, you cannot keep living like this.
It's all I have. It's who I am.
You'd have your son and your grandkids.
Yeah, well, obviously it makes me very sad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Not again.
He has to draw a line somewhere. Otherwise the cycle just repeats endlessly.
I'll be
Dad,
fine.
stay for Sunday dinner.
No. I really, I
Still
do
love your
actually.
dad, even if you can't
So,
give and give and give.
gotta dig in. No.
Kid, I had my Hardy Boys pack.
That's too old a reference for you.
We were being old school calling ourselves that. We would get into solving mysteries around the
Always been the way.
that we all lived in. At least most were.
And your
She
heart-
didn't state the actual place they lived in. Has she been in a place that real true crime would do? I don't trust Mabel.
Going at it alone is
I want to though. If she comes back, how the hell do you explain this breaking and entering?
This isn't. Now, Bunny probably keeps her packages in a hutch or a sideboard.
Brazos, look at your hand. What is it?
What is it?
What kind of guy kills himself an hour after being desperate to get his hands on this?
The mystery thickens. He's gonna make a podcast to make his money, get his career going. Is it fake? Has it got drugs in it? Is it stolen?
People who worry about living in the big city because of all the crime.
About that mysterious death in the park last night? We could multitask a little bit. Silo out a second investigation, do a second podcast.
No. We need to focus. Only murders in the building.
Only murders in the building.
Welcome to Only Murders in the Building, a true crime podcast.
At least finally got a bit of a spring in his step.
Hey, reminds me of Lucy. It was her favorite, right?
Ooh, he wasn't always alone.
Here,
The secrets are the fun part. Who's telling the truth? Who is lying?
Including these characters, they're all lying and hiding things, aren't
because
they?
let's be honest.
Ooh, she knew him. He was one of her Hardy Boys. Interesting. Okay, this was a very intriguing first episode, really laying the groundwork for who these characters are, for what mysteries there are within their personal lives, as well as the case that they are delving into, and I'm hooked. I am so intrigued to find out what happens next. Obviously there are some red flags around Mabel at the moment, most notably the fact that the whole show opens with police storming in, them running into her apartment and finding her seemingly over a dead body, covered in blood, saying this is not what it looks like. Which is definitely an immediate red flag, which does make me think like they want us to be like, oh, is Mabel secretly bad, which means she probably isn't. But there is definitely, obviously, things she's not saying, whether it's potentially why she's there, like could she be hiding out from something that happened in her past? The fact that she didn't name the place that he came from, I don't know if that is an actual like ooh or not, just because like to a true crime aficionado would saying like I come from London, obviously if that was a small town, then you'd be like, oh, that's the site of the Flibberflab murder or something, I don't know. I love the idea of these three people from totally different walks of life, even if two of them are similarly aged. But they're completely different, normally would kind of maybe make polite eye contact. But they have this shared passion, shared interest, and it can bring them together. Definitely can see them getting in the way of any real police investigation. The thing they really should have said to the detective when she was like, did you know him? Was, no, but we did see him in the lift, like an hour before, not even that, like 20 minutes before the fire alarm went off. And he was saying about a package, you know, that's the information what they should have done, is say, well no, but we did see him like 20 minutes before, and given all the information that they could, because as it stands, they withheld information that they had and they're going to get in the way now, but wouldn't be a show without it. Their podcast is a way to save, I can't remember his name's career, his life, even his financial, and I can understand when you get to a certain age, if you've lived somewhere for a very long time, it can be hard to say goodbye to it, but at the same time, if this place is as expensive and fancy as people make it out, he could make so much money from selling it. He could buy himself a really nice place somewhere else, maybe somewhere closer to his grandchildren, and actually live a life, not the sort of desperate hoping that this podcast takes off. Now, calling your podcast Only Murders in the Building is excellent, but once you solve your one murder, your podcast does kind of end, because otherwise you're going to have to start murdering yourself to keep it going. But I'm so intrigued with everything to figure out why were there multiple suicide notes. The one like, I've got to get out of here or whatever, that was quite a like extreme note. Was the reason she was so entranced by the ring, was he coming there to propose to her? Were they romantically involved? It is very interesting that Mabel has this secret connection to him. He's one of her Hardy boys, and yet she didn't let on. She didn't let on that she knew him. That's someone I was close to that's dead. Is he somehow linked to her nightmare turned murder, self-defense murder thing? There's obviously something in her past that I'm very intrigued to learn about. They all have their own secrets, you know. Mr. Director is not telling them about his financial worries. Brazo, whose name? Savage or something. He had a wife or had a live-in partner, someone that he lived with who has not been seen in a while. So what happened to her? Did she go missing? Or more likely, was it not a happy marriage? We will see. But this was a really, really promising first episode. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.